Hello and welcome to Freedom of Thought, the YouTube channel. Here at, right now, this is Lakewood Park Cemetery on the day before Memorial Day because, well, if it was Memorial Day, it'd be a little bit tougher to, be able to do this. There'd be a lot more people. Look at all the stand here, all these chairs. So it kind of is what it is. That's why I always traditionally come the day before so I can kind of come and pay my respects at this time. So it looks like right here, these are World War I veterans right here. This one was born in 1872, died in 36, 1852, 1936. So definitely a massive respect for all these veterans. World War I in this case. I'm almost getting goosebumps. Whoa, it's kind of 1842. Wow, to 1933. Private colonel. That'd be a Civil War veteran, ladies and gentlemen. So you're getting Civil War and World War I. I mean, isn't that cool? This person was about 180 years old. Charles N. Ashford, private. Very cool. Lived to 1933. Yeah, a lot of Civil War veterans were still around well into the 1900s. Definitely not all, but a lot were. Thankfully, they got to live. This one, definitely from the Civil War. That one, most likely World War I, 1885. Captain, wow, pretty cool. Captain Frank Hilla. Father David Weaver, so maybe he was a Catholic father, I guess you could say, Catholic priest, possibly involved in World War I. But yeah, there's more Civil War veterans here. Some men, some women. Yep, 1847. I better watch out where I'm standing here. I don't want to do it incorrectly, but yes. Oh, that's a Civil War veteran right there. So 1844. Just so much respect and honoring these people that have been, they've been long lost. They died, some of them almost 100 years ago, some of them more than 100 years ago. There's a Civil War colonel. Very, very cool. Charles Sanford died in 1926. Wow, born in 1844. See, it's 1844. You figure in 1964, he was only 20 years old. So obviously a very young man when he was in the Civil War at the time. But death is welcome, yet life is sweet. Joseph Juno. Death is welcome, yet life is sweet. 1841 to 1926. Very, very interesting. Yep. I mean, I always tend to gravitate towards Civil War because it's so long ago, and it's the oldest we got here in Minnesota. We don't have people born in 1812, or that were in the 1812 war or whatever, anything like that. But yep, here we go. In honors of the World War. Yep, meaning the first one. That would be like the Great War. You can see the type of equipment there. This one is in honor of the Spanish-American War, 1896. That one you don't hear about as much around the turn of that century. So these are some going way back. Yep, and here's the Civil War veterans, 1861 to 1865. Yep. So obviously tons and tons of respect. Obviously beautiful, beautiful scenery. You could, what I still call Lake Calhoun, because I grew up calling it that. Currently it's called Baja Mezca. I guess supposedly that's the original name. That's what they want us to believe. Here in Minneapolis, Minnesota is what this is. South Minneapolis, technically. Definitely or also known as Uptown. Yep, here's more Civil War veterans. There's no way this is Spanish-American War. I mean, 1830. Whew, yeah, it's going way back in the day. Infantry, Norman Taylor. God bless you, Norman. Died in 1911. That's the year my grandfather was born, on Christmas Day. Wow, 1911. My grandfather, obviously much older than somebody normally from my generation, because there's a gap. He was like, what was he like? He must have been like 37 years old when my mom was born, and then my mom was 31 years old. So big gap in generations. Even bigger with my dad. But yeah, George Burt, 1911, also passed away at that stage. But they lived into the 1900s, a lot of them. Gosh, a lot of them died in 1911. 1911. Right there. 1911. Not sure which one this one. 1913. That's when that is when the, what do they call it? The Federal Reserve. All that garbage happened and helped ruin the country. Thank you very much, Mr. President. What was his name? I don't even want to remember his name at this point. Woodrow Wilson. Yep. Ugh. 1843. Gosh, yep. 100 years before my dad was born, and obviously that is not the Battle of Midway. That was 1942. Yeah, there aren't. Yeah, see, World War II. A lot of them are still alive. Well, not a lot, but there are some are still alive. A lot are not, I guess. But thankfully, that generation actually still exists, which is pretty cool to say the least. But mostly Civil War. This is a Civil War one right here. Yep. So obviously here paying respects, and that's what it's all about. I love coming here every year and just kind of looking at all these awesome people that fought for this country one way or another, or fought for the Union, in this case with Civil War. That's why, again, I tend to gravitate towards the Civil War because how long ago it is. If there were Revolutionary War graves, believe me, you know I'd come to those, because talk about the reason why we're here. I mean, Revolutionary War is as big as it gets, but we're honoring those men also, going back to George Washington and all of them. So there are people buried in this cemetery as old as Abe Lincoln. There are. There's actually one person born before, well before, believe it or not, supposedly living to 115, born in 1770 and passed away in 1885. Millie Bronson, apparently born into slavery and was freed by this wealthy family and was a well-liked person and lived 115 years. So I always get amazed. I can't find her grave anymore, but I remember 1770. I mean, that was before the Revolutionary War, so that's most likely the oldest person in this entire cemetery. So, yep. 1834, yep, right there. Civil War veteran. So, God bless all of you. God bless all of you. Thank you again so much. And yep, and there's that flag right there. Yeah, in front of all of them, of course. That's what we're here for, folks. That's what we're here for. Not to party and get drunk. Nope. Nope. You can have your free time and enjoy it, which we will enjoy, but I don't know. If all you care about is partying and getting drunk, I don't know, and not recognizing why we're here or why we're off this weekend, I don't know. That's a shame. It's an absolute shame. I think people need to pay their respects to these men and women who did so much for all of us. And that's why we have freedom of thought, because of men and women like this. Thank you. God bless everybody here, and God bless the United States of America.